Previously in Psychic Garage, we had a good look over Pinky, the bug, found a number of electrical issues, and once we determined the engine had spark, then we added fuel to it and gave it a try, and the thing actually ran, and it ran well, considering how long it had been sitting. Okay, that was good. It runs.
What did you see?
High five. It still needed a lot more work, and we knew that carburetor had some issues. It was probably dirty inside, even though it looked clean on the outside. So later that week, Eric was away, but I took the carburetor off and took it all apart. I did a full rebuild. I didn't have to buy any parts for it, as the gasket and all the rubber pieces were all in good shape, including the float. If anyone is interested in a video on a full rebuild of this carburetor, I do have enough footage for that. So if you're interested in that, leave me a comment and I'll put one together. The inside of the carburetor was very dirty and corroded, as we suspected. So I put it in my ultrasonic cleaner, let it soak actually for a couple of days. I did check on it periodically, and I used the heater in the ultrasonic to help with the cleaning action. And some cleaning I did by hand with an old toothbrush. There was some corrosion that was deeply etched in the float ball area, but it won't harm the operation of the carburetor. So I reassembled the carburetor, everything went together smooth, and this was basically a brand new carburetor not long before the car was parked, so everything was still in great condition. I blame the ethanol fuels we've been using for over the last 20 years that caused all of this corrosion in this carburetor. Thankfully it cleaned up very well, so I put it back on the engine and hooked everything back up the way it was with vacuum lines and fuel and everything. I also rigged up a temporary fuel tank, which is just off an old lawnmower. I hooked it up without the fuel pump just so that it would gravity feed the carburetor, and it worked for testing purposes. We got fuel, so we're going to try starting this again and see how well we can get it to run. Still wouldn't run right. In fact, it was almost worse than before I cleaned the carburetor. So I spent a couple of frustrating hours trying to figure out the problem. And in the end, I fixed it. It was a bad wire that someone had hooked up to the carburetor that was working intermittently that would shut off the fuel. Considering this car sat for 14 years, it's running great. And also, there's no smoke coming out of the exhaust. Well, I've been playing with this thing for a couple hours. And I checked the compression. The compression's like either 120 or 125 on all four cylinders. Two are 120, two are 125. It's running better, starting better. Still not great. I think we need new spark plug wires, possibly plugs. But it starts very easily. So it's running pretty good. Still got that hesitation, but it's not bad. The timing is set accurately, but this distributor does not have a vacuum advance unit on it, so I think that's where that big flat spot is coming from. Gotta get a new distributor. So where are we now with this car? We've done the brakes, well, adjusted them.
Adjusted the brakes, inspected everything underneath, checked it all out. We took a look at what we had in the engine bay, figured some stuff out there.
There's nothing really there's no real mechanical issues. The only thing we have to do is change one wheel cylinder that we know of so far, because the brake bleeder broke off. We didn't test the rest of them, so that might be a new problem, but
Maybe you should have ordered more than one.
maybe we should have ordered more than one. But and then we got it kind of fired up,
We did.
the engine, and it actually sounded pretty good. And then you had to go, and then you gave me the blessing to go ahead and do some more work on the engine while you were away.
Right.
And I think I had pretty good success. It goes without saying, it took hours and hours of messing around. Electrical issues, the carburetor needed a good cleaning, and when I put it back on, it wasn't working right, and I kept taking it off thinking it wasn't clean enough, but it was a wiring problem in the back that I eventually figured out. It was intermittent. So
Old crusty connections, I guess.
yeah, just amateurishly done. So now Eric's gonna hear this thing run for the first time in
Since
person.
we first got it started, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few days back. So it hasn't started at all today. And the fuel tank I got hooked up is very temporary. It's just gravity feeding, and it doesn't work all that great. But
The fuel pump is out of the car, so
yeah. So if this works good, we're gonna put in a temporary fuel tank in the front, because the Beetle tank is there's like a 1/4 inch of rust floating around in the bottom. It's really bad, and it would take some work to clean it out. It's not leaking, but it's really dirty. So I picked up an old snowmobile tank I've had laying around. We're gonna try hooking that up and see what happens. And if it runs good, then we
test drive.
drive it.
Ah!
So here we go. We'll get Eric set up to start this thing.
Okay. It's like a snow blower tank.
This tank is out of, I'm gonna move the camera. So what have I done? Carburetor's rebuilt. Well, torn apart, clean, put back together. No new parts.
No new parts.
I added this silly looking fuel tank. I'm gonna open up this valve here, because it's gravity feeding into the carburetor through this well-used filter.
Well, you still do.
So this holds about 1 liter of gas, and it's almost empty right now, but it should at least start up.
And did you do anything with the throttle cable?
The throttle cable's too short. It kind of holds it above idle, and I hooked it back up, so it won't quite. You'd have to manually push it in to idle it. But for what we're doing right now, it'll work. So, a couple of pumps.
I'll
Turn on the key.
Power. I heard a click. Coil is energized.
I might have to do this once you get it going, but we'll see.
Little LED in there?
Yeah, that's cool. Let's get open the big door.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Pretty good.
A little rough.
Little round.
Once we get a new distributor on here with a vacuum advance,
that.
when it's warmed up, you try and throttle it and it just backfires. You figure, is that drivable?
I think so. I'm turning worse.
Yeah, we've driven worse. We have. And the alternator's charging now. I got all the lights working. Let's take the signal first. So, left signal. Yep. Right signal. Yep. And the brake.
Ride the gas pedal, yeah. Give it a quick full throttle when the bar goes. Yeah, I wasn't full throttle. Okay, beautiful. Well,
Tachometer doesn't go below 1,000.
oh,
Sticks
it
there.
was at 800 last night anyways.
No, right now it's still stuck
Yeah.
there.
Oh, maybe when you shut it off. So, I think we put a fuel tank on her.
So we
And
want to
drive
wire
her.
up this fuel pump again?
I think, see this one? You're going to put one of these
Oh, yeah.
in it, right?
Yeah.
What if we actually wire it up underneath?
Okay.
Hopefully we got enough fuel. I don't know what, I got some scraps around here. Yeah, we'll lift the hoist up.
Drive this car at some point. Can't do it without a seat.
Okay, what do we got? We got this braided hose hooked up to this tank, electric fuel pump, temporarily wired in. I guess we should,
Make sure there's no wires like hanging around.
wires going into the steering,
Zip tie everything out of the way.
horn wires. What else do we got in there? There should be enough. Okay, we want to see this thing fill up with gas. Go ahead. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a rock, paper, scissors to see who drives it first. Okay. Okay. So,
Do you do 1, 2, 3, go, or do you use 1, 2,
1,
3?
3.
Okay.
rock, paper, scissors.
Rock,
Rock, paper, scissors.
2 and 3.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Are you keeping track? I'm not keeping. Okay.
We're tied right now.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Ah!
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Ah. Well, she's moving.
I couldn't remember where reverse was.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's not where this knob says it is. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, it's down, left, back.
Second gear!
So far so good. Speedo working or no? Oh yeah, speedometer works.
No, it works!
Well, there's dust coming from everywhere.
Back works. Whole gear works.
She's driving. Seems okay.
Not bad, right?
Straight down the road, not holding onto the wheel. Wow.
This dog social distancing.
How's it seem for power?
The top end like it lugs a bit.
Yeah. Timing maybe.
Yeah. Once you wind it up,
Then it's okay.
that's okay.
Like getting there. Is that one pump or two?
That's just one holding down.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You can kind of. No, not really. There's a bit
If you pump them up, they're better.
of a reflection. Oh, we got traffic.
Oh,
Behind us.
I can't see.
All good, all good, all good.
No, I just didn't see behind us, I think.
Oh yeah, we got no rear view mirror.
Yeah. This is...
Well, we've survived almost a full loop of the subdivision. Wow. We lived. If we pulled the throttle back. There, she's idling at about 900. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the brake on.
Oh, I'm driving with the parking brake on?
It was just slightly on. That's funny. Wow. How does she start?
No touch of the gas. It's fine.
Beautiful. I'd say that's a big success. My turn.
Your turn.
Okay. Start it up. Yeah, it's moving better now.
Maybe you will be able to.
Signal lights do work. No seat belts.
No, feels weird, eh?
Screw them, we die like men.
We die like real men. That's better. Trying to pop the tire off the bead? Check your brakes. They work. Oh, this is the little junkyard. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Well, that's not bad.
Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! That was fun. Brakes are actually really good.
Two pump.
Come on. Clutch holds well. I'm a little more used to these roads than you are. So. We'll get the tires dried off. We'll see if we can light them up on the pavement.
Okay.
Kids. Like my 69 buck stock, I could light up the tires.
Oh, yeah?
You really had to dump the clutch, but it would do it. Yeah. Well, the oil light's not coming on.
That's good.
We're charging at almost 14 volts.
I can see the road.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can see the road from here?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a spot right there. Come on, baby.
There you go.
Holy wheel, huh? We left a patch.
Good, good for us. You break it, you bought it.
Yep, pretty much. Doesn't want to stall now. Oh, there. That's what we did. She's driving.
Driving Beetle.
Well, here's the other thing. There's no O-ring on the idle mixture strut because I didn't have one and it disintegrated when I cleaned it. So. I think my door's open.
Is that what the noise is?
Must be out of balance maybe, and it's. No, it almost idles. Whew. We survived.
That was a fun day.
That was a blast. Huge success. Car's running really nice.
It's going to get even better when we do a little tune-up on it.
Yeah. Plugs wires. And then we decide what we're doing after that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't talked about that yet, so we're kind of winging it today.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that was fun and pretty cool. It runs good. I don't know. We got to check that one front wheel. We've got a kind of a thumping noise on the driver's front, so we'll check that out. And yeah, I think we're in good shape. Someone just said, I just got a comment a short time ago. Should be pink flamingo.
Pink flamingo.
I thought that was.
Doesn't have long enough legs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of flamingo-y pink.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Pepto-Bismol works too.
Yeah.
Since you get an upset stomach after you wing it around the corners a little bit.
And it does look like a nail polish. That does. Someone else said that. Yeah. But anyways, that was a blast today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you folks next time.